right, just remember to have fun. So the key is...
Okay. Every instrument carries a story waiting to be heard.
Just close enough to cause that clash.
I'm David Lian, and this is The Instrument Makers, a YouTube series where we visit diverse instrument workshops,
Bravo.
explore the artistry and techniques of master artisans,
Nice, that was gorgeous. That was so fun.
and share the remarkable journeys and insights we discover along the way.
Does not always look like it's going well, even though it is.
In this episode, we find ourselves in the humid Houston summer at David Getman's Lindale Banjos workshop. Some people spend their whole lives searching for the thing they're meant to do. David found his calling in the most unexpected way, through a box of discarded banjo parts handed to him by a friend. It would lead him away from the 90s Brooklyn music scene of rock and roll and esoteric electronic music to his garage workshop in Houston, where he now creates some of the most beautiful and meticulous banjos being made today. But what makes David truly remarkable isn't just his exceptional skill, it's his generous spirit and genuine passion for sharing his craft with others. The release of this episode marks exactly 1 year of The Instrument Makers. Please consider subscribing to the channel and visiting my website or my Kofi page to support the work I do, or buy some merch like stickers, guitar picks, or rare Japanese instruments. Thank you for a year of support. Episodes will continue to be released on the 1st and 15th of each month. Yes, let's get started.
I'm David Getman, and we are at the Lindale Banjos shop in Lindale Park, Houston, Texas, in the middle of July.
Yeah, I know.
Big picture, I pretty much exclusively make open back banjos that are meant to be played in a fingerstyle or clawhammer or frailing style, because that's the style that I play. So it just seemed very intuitive to make them. And so that's, I make a variety of different kinds, from 11 inches all to 11 and a half, 12 inches in diameter, different scale lengths, different woods, different inlays, things like that, but they're all open back banjos. It is a long, weird story. I was never really a fan of bluegrass music growing up. But I did love instruments from a very young age. I didn't pick up the banjo until much, much later in life. I picked up violin, I played cello, I played trumpet, just various instruments. The schools that I went to, I was fortunate that they had bands and orchestras. So I would just express interest, and my parents were very supportive, and they would rent an instrument and I'd play it for a little while. So looking back, I think it was more about the instruments.
Yeah. Okay.
But the first instrument that I picked up that really carried me away with it was guitar. So I played guitar for many years. And then I didn't pick up the banjo until I was in my 20s living in Brooklyn. As I said, I was ready to spring from Arlington, and I had lovely friends that had the same ideas. So we saved a couple of $1,000, threw everything into a U-Haul and moved to New York.
Wow. Any plan?
No, the plan was to play rock and roll.
Oh, okay.
So
you were the guitarist?
I was a guitarist.
Okay.
And we, New York was in the 90s was a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And especially Brooklyn back in the day. And, we had a band together with folks that we were working with within a couple of months. And by New Year's, we were playing on stage. So
wow.
When I was in Brooklyn playing rock and roll, I was also playing really kind of weird esoteric music, using guitar pedals and things like that, trying to build like cascading walls of sound and all that stuff that was happening in New York back then. Trip hop, drum and bass, all that stuff was popping off. And I was really into it, but I always really had a real affection for like one person playing an acoustic instrument, and the first time it really hit me was blues, acoustic blues. So that's what I always really wanted to play in guitar, slide guitar and things like that. Loved that stuff. But every once in a while, as I was, trying to like live my life as a musician playing in bands, I would see a person do that, just step onto a stage with one instrument. And a very dear friend of mine took me to see a oud player named Hamza Eldin, who I had never seen anybody play an oud, and it was just like a lightning bolt. And I was like, that just kind of returned me to that, like, that's what I want, and I realized that, like, even though I've been playing guitar for many, many years, I was never really owned it. Like, I could never really write songs that I liked, and I was good in a band, and I could do crazy electronic stuff with it. But that, like, you know, playing tunes like that, I really, really wanted it. So after I saw the oud player, I was just desperate for something like that. And there were probably ouds available in New York, because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I had no money, and they were expensive. So I had a friend who was explaining my woes, who ran a little music store in Brooklyn, sold guitars and stuff. And he gave me a box of banjo parts. He's like, I am not gonna get to this for a very long time. He was like, if you wanna take it and put it together, you're welcome to it. So I put it together, and I absolutely loved it. I had no knowledge of banjo music, no real interest in bluegrass music, anything like that. But I put it together and it was super fun, and then it was a fantastic signal initiator for electronic music. Because you can, you know, get a drum, you know, you can wave your hands, you can put your hand inside the pot, you can do all kinds of things to affect the tone. And it's a resonating sort of thing, so the head reverberates, and so you can get all kinds of cool feedback. But I didn't really develop a strong interest in actually playing it the way that it was meant to be played until I was a bartender at the time. And I met a guy who was actually Steve Martin's lawyer.
Oh, wow.
And he said, Steve gave me a tape a long time ago that just changed my life. And he was like, I'll bring it in for you. And it was Morgan Sexton, who these French musicologists found, who is just the most haunting, beautiful, he's like 90 at the time. Beautiful music. I was like, I can't believe that music is coming out of a banjo. And I was just off to the races after that. I left New York, moved to Kentucky for about 2 weeks. Couldn't stay. Went to Austin, played in bands, did all kinds of fun stuff in Austin, started taking college classes, developed a really passionate interest in history as a field of study. I was encouraged to get a PhD, took a position in Rice University to do the PhD.
Okay.
But while I was in Austin, I met my wife. She headed to Houston Chronicle, started working there. And so we just kind of moved our situation from Austin to here and moved in together and got married. And now we're living here with a couple of kids. You know, that was back in the 90s. You know, long story leads me here. But my wife and I, when we moved into this house, we discovered that the back half of the house was completely uninhabitable.
Oh, wow.
We spent everything on the house. So there wasn't any money to pay somebody to fix it, so I had to fix it myself. But when the house needed fixing, I was not a woodworker. I used to tinker with motorcycles. I really didn't even have a circular saw or anything. But I spent the money on tools rather than a contractor, and me and my father and my father-in-law like rebuilt the whole back of the house. And it took about a year.
Did you know much about woodwork? Okay.
But fortunately, my father and my father-in-law either knew how to do things or would just pretend that they did until we hit a snag. By the end of that, I had significant home improvement fatigue. Like, I didn't want to touch anything having to do with fixing a house, but I had really cool tools.
Yeah.
I had a table saw, I had drills, I had everything. And so I wanted to do something fun. And the fun thing I did was try and make a banjo pot because I was crazy obsessed with banjos.
Wow. How did you figure out how to make a banjo? Did you reverse engineer it? Did you do a lot of research? What happened with
initially, it was reverse engineering, but there is a wonderful, wonderful resource called the Banjo Hangout. My friends who are neither musicians nor banjo enthusiasts have told me that the Banjo Hangout is and it remains everything that used to be awesome about the internet. You know, it's like a bunch of really interesting people who are very committed and dedicated to what they do, which mostly is just for fun, and very generous of knowledge and spirit. Guys like Ken Levan and Rudy from Blue Stem Banjos, just like mentors who would just befriend and help you. So I got a lot of like sort of guidance through that community, but also books. There's a lot of books. I've got some books up there and some books inside. Siminoff made a really good book on how to build and set up a banjo. Also a very generous guy in terms of spirit and knowledge.
Okay.
So yeah, self-taught, but lots and lots of firewood.
Wow.
made.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Steam is building. And insulate it a little bit to keep the steam in. You guys might find this interesting, but you should come over here and smell this, David.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that I love most about working with wood is how different each species is in terms of the tone. But when you start working with them, you also realize like the smell is
I
really.
can smell already.
So when I lift this up, it's going to be like you're going to get on in there and really get a good whiff of the mahogany.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
It's got that. It's got
nice.
a
It's a very
sweet.
earthy sweet. Yeah.
Like, okay. Like a cauldron. All right. The first banjo I made, I thought looked and sounded great, but it was not something that one could sell. I wasn't interested in selling it. I was just interested. I just wanted a tubaphone.
Yeah.
So I tried to make one. But then immediately upon finishing it, I was like, I need to make another banjo. And so I made two more, one for my wife, which is that one, and then one for me, which I wound up giving to my brother and then my father. After I made those, I was like, okay, this is definitely something that I'm going to just continue to do no matter what. But the question is, where do the banjos go? And it's a spare time hobby type thing, and so I realized that it is better to make things in batches when your shop is on wheels. So I did a batch of 4 banjos, and I just committed myself to not stop working on them until they were absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those banjos all sold, and I drove 2 of them out to Lockhart, Texas. Have you ever been out there?
No.
So there's a little music store in there called Fiddler's Green that used to be in Austin. And I remember going there one day when it was in Austin and I lived there, and there was a small shop handmade banjo. And I was like, if I ever get a banjo that I want to sell, I'm going to take it there. And I walked in with the banjos and I told Ben Hodges, he's the guy who runs the place, it's like, I'd like you to take a look at some banjos that I made in my garage. He's like, I have no money to buy any instruments right now. Just so you know. I was like, okay. But really, I just wanted his approval.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
So I opened up the case and I showed him the banjos, and he said, let's just start this conversation over. He's like, I'm Ben Hodges.
Yeah.
And we have had a really good professional relationship ever since.
Fantastic.
So he either buys or puts on consignment pretty much anything that I bring him.
Yeah, you must be very proud that they're able to buy your instruments and sell them.
Yeah, I when I think about it, I still have this tremendous sense of gratitude and gratification.
Yeah.
Like I just really wanted a professional in the field to say my work was good. And yeah, he's very, very supportive. You're doing great, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Just get in there, man, and get it. Also, nylon strings are challenging if you're not used to playing with them.
I do like the sound of the nylon a bit
me too.
more. It's a bit warmer.
I mean, that banjo was like maximum warmth. 12 inches, 3 inches deep, nice fat neck, nylon strings, like so out of tune. Oh, okay, that's gonna give that up.
look at that.
Yeah.
Look.
That's
at
what I was
this.
talking about with in terms of the making the very, very thin layers. It's a puzzle box. You get the idea about what the Yosegi is supposed to look like.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a variety of patterns. And this is, the star pattern is Yosegi Hakone. And that was kind of the one that I started to experiment with first. But I like all of the different patterns, and I definitely want to explore them, more thoroughly.
Okay.
But let me see if I can show you the. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. To make Yosegi, the first thing you need two very, very, very flat, identical pieces of wood like this with a piece of veneer in the middle. And then when you get those and you trim them up, I have a jig that holds them at exactly the right angle. And then I just run them across the table saw to make these tiny little triangles.
Tiny
And
little
these-
triangles.
Fit together like this.
Oh my goodness.
And then those fit together
Yeah.
into larger blocks like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And then I shave off pieces of it that thick, and then I put them in a row and make a strip like that. And I glue it to a second piece of veneer. And then that winds up becoming this, which is a piece that I don't plan on using because it has some errors in it.
Okay.
And then I wet that, and then that wraps around the outside or the inside of a banjo pot.
That's beautiful.
I'll show you some banjos with some tone rings in it. Tubaphones, white ladies, bacon. They're metal structures that sit on top of the rim that the head stretches over. They are wildly inventive things, really, really unique structures that when you just look at them and you're like, this is not intuitive at all. But in the 1890s and early 1900s, the amount of inventive energy that went into the technological development of unique banjo structures was like the space race.
Wow.
Like, I mean, it was really, really, really big money for those days. Those companies were huge and cutthroat and very competitive, and it's fascinating stuff. All right. Oh, this is the first rim I made. You can see that I tried to make a wooden tubaphone, which is a fool's errand because the tubaphone sounds the way that it does because it's made out of metal. But that's cocobolo on top.
But it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it
And,
sounds nice too, but you can see also all the mistakes. There's all the holes I had to re-drill and all kinds of
I
things.
see.
Like, I love that rim. I'll eventually do something with it, but I kind of keep it around just to remind me of
what it could be.
not to screw up.
They're gorgeous instruments, and
Thank you.
I can see that especially with the inlays and the Yosegi patterns that you're making. There's always a challenge that there's always something driving you to build the next set of banjos.
Let me give you an example of what I mean. So the next batch that I'm working on, I've been experimenting with this. So if you look at that, you'll see that the grain lines in this block are more or less uninterrupted.
Yeah.
But in making those lines, those intersecting lines go through them, that's a trick.
What happened here?
It's a little bit of a trick. And doing it in a larger scale is going to be neat. But the trick is you take a block and then you draw a line on it and then you separate the block into two pieces with the separation point being exactly the same thickness as whatever piece of wood you're going to put in. So when you glue it back together, this grain line meets. And then when you start putting more lines in it, so you cut it again, put another, steam a piece of wood, put it in, you cut it again, you steam another piece, and you're stacking them one by one by one. All of these intersecting lines, it's like they're seamless.
Wow.
And then, because like picture this big, right? And then you shave off the 1/16 of an inch of it and wet it, and then wrap it around a banjo pot, and then glue it. And then you have these beautiful lines running around the pot on the outside and the inside, just like the Yosegi. I make the Yosegi in the same way.
Yeah. How do you feel when you're making banjos for yourself?
I'll tell you how I feel when I'm not making banjos.
Okay.
Sometimes, work and kids and everything just doesn't leave you enough time.
Yeah.
And I'm not myself when I don't get to spend this time, you know.
Mhm.
But I come out of the shop a lot more centered and relaxed and happier and fun to be with than I usually do. When
It's almost meditation.
It's very, very meditative.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of. I like hearing people's voices, so I listen to podcasts where people are talking about stuff I think is interesting, but I don't really have to pay attention. Just kind of lose myself in the work.
Do you listen to music while you work?
I do.
Okay. What do you listen to?
I listen to all kinds of stuff, really. My musical interests are pretty much all over the place. I have made some ukuleles, and I have some gourds up there. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah.
And banjos that are made out of gourds are particularly beautiful sounding. There's an album called Earth Tones or something like that by Adam Hurt, and it's probably made the biggest splash of an instrumental solo album since all the way up to Rhiannon Giddens.
Wow.
It's gorgeous. Gourd banjos are really nice. I don't really aspire to make an acoustic guitar or anything like that, or mandolins, I would like to make a bouzouki. I used to be a bouzouki player for a short time. But mainly I like what I do now. I'd like to transition back into more of making music.
Yeah.
I have a picture in my head of a perfect trio of banjo, concertina, and oboe or something like that.
Okay.
Like a double reed, kind of something like that. I listen to this band called Leveret. I don't know if it's a concertina, a viola, and a push button accordion.
Okay.
That I think Leveret. If you ask, Desert Island album, Leveret, it would be the band, and I think I think it's called Circle in the Round. I have to think of the name of the album, but yeah, that band changed my life. Whew. Okay, wish me luck. David, would you hand me one of those long yellow clamps that's hung up there, and just be careful when you pull it down that another doesn't fall?
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's see. Maybe I should have the one at the end there.
All right, that's one.
Well done.
Thank you. So, do you want to try one?
Jesus. I'll try one.
All right, just remember to have fun. So the key is,
Okay.
I'm clamping this to the wood, okay?
Yes.
This is like this. When you're going around, what you're doing is the wood is holding itself up as you're pressing it and just keep
as tight as
pressing
you can.
it like that, and I'll help you clamp it along the way.
Okay.
And then once you get around here, it starts to get a little challenging.
Okay.
But I think that it's going to go great.
I like your faith in me.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, do you want me to bring that over?
Yeah, if you want. Unhook it. You're going for the lightest colored piece in the stack.
All right.
Be careful, it's really hot.
Yeah.
All right, so
This
that
bottom
bottom,
one.
the bottom. Here you go.
Yep.
Draw it all the way out.
Put a gorgeous piece
All
of wood there.
And walk over to the.
One side's thin. Is the thin side the part that's going in?
That's right. So no. We're going like this,
Okay, yeah, I see.
and
I
we're
see.
gonna go like this, and this one.
We gotta hammer it down.
Yeah, that one actually fits pretty good.
Okay.
Hand me that hammer, would you?
Okay. I was almost gonna use my hand.
Here you go. Tap it, and it's important that it goes all the way down to the table. So hammer it out here.
I I see.
All the way down to the table.
All the way down to the table. There you go.
All right. Now take this, draw it out along it.
Perfect.
And remember, time is a factor.
Yes.
All right, so get up over here.
Yeah.
And you're like this.
Now we push.
This is your strength hand. There you go. So,
Ooh, this is not easy.
there you go. Put your hand right here.
I
So
see.
the pressure is to keep it is right on the
Pressure,
edge
right.
that's being bent. That's where you want the pressure. Okay, come on around.
Yeah.
Keep following it. There it goes. Feel that?
Yeah.
It just kind of gives. I think it.
All right. Move that hammer. There we go.
Keep on coming. Pull this off.
Pull that off. Do we need to move it somewhere else?
Nope.
There we go. Keep on pushing. All right. Oh.
There you go. Push it, push it, push it.
Yeah, it gets harder down here.
It sure does.
Look at that.
All right, there we go. Now,
Hold it in place
here,
while we
take this,
clamp it.
clamp it here,
Yep.
widen it, boom.
Yep. Ooh.
Got it. All right.
Next one, we'll do that.
And then you push. I'm gonna tighten.
Yeah.
See if we can get this on there. All right, grab me another one of those long clamps that you grabbed a minute ago.
One of these long
No,
ones.
no, no, over there on the wall, hanging up on
The
thing.
yellows.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if you don't clamp it fast enough? It
Oh.
just.
It's,
This is the one where
yeah,
we do
open it
cross.
up all the way.
Yeah.
This is your trigger for
Oh
loosening.
yeah. Oh, and I've not.
There we
not
go.
used one of these
Now
in a
you want to
while.
go all the way across.
Yeah.
Oh, is it not going to fit? Ah, there we go. Okay, now tighten it up. Trigger it. Very good job, David. And this goes here, and yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah. It's very physical.
Yeah. It's very satisfying though. Once it's there and it's not cracked, then you're like, there we go.
It is. This is a failed sort of preemptive sort of thing I was
Yeah.
experimenting with. There are so many transitions on that thing. There's not
Yeah, I
one
see.
area on it that isn't flowing into something else. So the sanding of it
This is an interesting shape you've made here.
Oh yeah, that's a brilliant, the very, very brilliant Jason and Ferris Romero. That's one of the things that they do. I just saw it and I was like, that's gorgeous, and I wanted to give it a try.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my neck for experimenting with the heel carving that I haven't quite gotten to. Just be careful around banjos. I know that happened to me the first time I got one in my hands and heard one. Like, it took me about a year, and my entire rock and roll electronic sort of music career was like basically down the drain. I had sold everything I owned to buy a nice banjo. I have met many people over the years where I've sat down with them and they say, oh, like, play me a tune on your silly banjo. And then they're like, I have to learn how to play that now. Like, it's a very, very, very easy instrument to fall in love with. So if you currently love the instrument that you're playing and you don't want to years from now just regret having given it up completely, like, don't pick a banjo up.
As we left his workshop that day, David Getman continued bending wood while the steam was still hot. In a world increasingly driven by speed and efficiency, there's something profound about watching someone who has chosen the patient path. One careful bend, one precise cut, one perfect inlay at a time. If you'd like to see more of David's work, visit his website, Lindale Banjos, or Fiddler's Green if you're interested in buying one. Thank you for joining us for this milestone episode of The Instrument Makers, and I'll see you next time.